Good morning. Day 2 of back-to-back volcano hunting here in Washington. Today's objective is Mount Saint Helens. This is going to be so different than Mount Adams yesterday. The whole vibe. There's a million people here. It's a paved parking lot. You need a reservation. In the full guide, if you're new to my channel, I have a full guide on my website for every single thing I do. I'll put all the logistics there. The long and short of today is that we're starting from the snow park here. It's the south approach to Saint Helens. Going to be going up and snowboarding, splitboarding, whatever, down the mountain. It is Memorial Day weekend. Reservations were really hard to come by. I got lucky today because the weather is looking good, which is great. Mount St. Helens should be, I think it's about a 10-mile day, 5K vert. Yeah, my legs are cooked, so I'm gonna be moving pretty slow today. The vibe here, very, very, very different than yesterday. I've seen more people in the parking lot than I did on the entire hike up Adams. Obviously, very popular. If this is your first time traveling on snow, St. Helens is definitely a place where you're gonna want some kind of protection for your feet. So at least micro spikes, probably for more inexperienced people, crampons and boots that accept them. But more important to any of the gear you have is knowing how to use them, especially with a mountain axe and crampons. It's super, super easy to get injured if you do fall and don't know how to self-arrest because you have a bunch of sharp metal on you. Even silly things like picking up your backpack can result in cutting your finger. Although St. Helens is definitely from what I understand, a much easier volcano than say Hood, definitely easier than Adams, it still is not something you want to take lightly. Anytime you're traveling on snow, a fall could be pretty serious. For all of the gear I'm using and recommend, you can check the links in the description below. It costs you nothing, but it will give you a good idea on kind of what to pack for today. If you're like, dude, what the hell does a boot accepting a crampon mean? Long and short, in order for a crampon to be effective, it needs a very rigid sole. So you can't just put them on sneakers. You could, but it kind of does nothing. You don't need to go out there and buy like $1,000, $700 La Sportiva. Like, that's an overkill. I'll link a video that I talk about boots that accept crampons in the description if you're interested in learning more about that. About 2.5 miles in, just make sure you cross the creek back there. It's frozen over, might be harder to find. There is a lot of signs and pink ribbons, like they don't want you to get lost here, clearly. The slightly depressing thing is I'm realizing the higher I get that there's probably no point to me having skins today. The reason I say that is because it's so melted out that I think I'll probably just end up taking the standard route, which I believe would go up the middle. Another beautiful morning. Trail junction, follow the climbing route. I just passed some people who are carrying sleds up. Cannot think of a worse idea. Do not do that. Bring skis or snowboard like a normal person. I feel like I have to go back to the sled comment for a second because otherwise people are gonna be like, old man yelling at camera. Dude, for real, people die at ski resorts almost every single year because of the exact same thing. And unlike a ski resort that ends and you hit a fence potentially, you just keep going here. I'm not trying to be a dickhead, I'm just trying to be realistic that sledding down a freeze thaw cycle snow is a terrible idea. Just about 3.5 miles in, the views of Hood are so sick. Just been kind of scrambling up this volcanic rock here. I believe the name of this route is Worm Flows. You can kind of see where the lava just flowed right down the volcano. It's a mildly terrifying thought that this is an active volcano and could explode at any time, but I just choose to shove those thoughts deep down and pretend they're not there. It's just a lot of scrambling up rock. Be really looking forward to get onto the snow and hopefully be able to skin up at least something today. Yeah, the reason I'm not is, first of all, the snow is absolutely trash. It is extremely sun-cupped. And second of all, this is just way faster. So I know my strengths and I could boot this infinitely faster than I would be able to skin it. So I'm just gonna keep the boots on. Still no crampons for now. I might see how this next hill goes and then kind of transition from there. It's so well traveled that the booter is just bomber. I feel comfortable without crampons on. You need to make a call for yourself. Look at the upper bowl here and this beautiful random whatever that is. So far, my impressions of Mount Saint Helens is that it seems to be a really good mountain to kind of practice your mountaineering skills. So maybe it's your first time wearing crampons, maybe it's your first time using a mountain axe. It's really not that steep. Like I said, the final pitch, maybe. It's so well traveled and so low consequence because of how well traveled it is that, yeah, it might be a really good place to do that if you're kind of lower on the experience level. I got a hiking friend in front of me, and the look at the upper bowl. You can see your many options for descent. I'm definitely gonna be going right and then trying to stick as high on that wall as I can to end up as left as I can as I go down. Really, really pretty views of Adams as well. One thing that you absolutely need to bring to when you're doing this, St. Helens, any volcano really, anytime you're on the snow, sunscreen. They make all kinds of stuff for like protecting your face, like guards and stuff like that. I sweat like a monster, so those just don't really work for me. But I've been putting on sunscreen like every 20 minutes and I know I'm still getting cooked. I also had a small panic attack earlier when I thought I forgot my sunglasses. You will literally go blind if you don't have something to protect your eyes too. It is so hot. I'm literally just sweating my ass off. Proud of myself, feeling really good today considering I climbed 7,000 feet yesterday. My legs are really acclimated to this elevation, obviously, since I live at it. Through the steepest part of the climb. Definitely gonna be able to summit without spikes. Here's a look at the upper section. Pretty featureless climb. Just looking at snow for hours and hours. All right, obviously up on the ridge here, these little flags indicate the edge of the cornice, so definitely do not go to the right. I thought I was gonna be able to cut over up here, but the cornice is so big that I think I'm gonna have to go down quite a bit to cut over to the worms. But I have a while to kill because the snow is still really firm. I think that most people get there and think that's the summit. That is actually the summit. How do I get there? I'm not quite sure. I think I have to descend a bit and then cut over. But yeah, I mean, I'm this close, I might as well tag it. Pretty heavily corniced, so gotta be careful up there. I was a little unsure if I was actually gonna come tag it, but I realized that there's nothing to be afraid of. Also, I have the right experience, I have the right gear, and just because nobody else is tagging it, why the hell would mine not? It makes no sense at all. So yeah, headed over here to the true summit of Mount Saint Helens, which is like, I don't know, maybe 200 yards from where everybody comes up in the winter. Do be very, very careful of the cornice. I'm not gonna get very close to the edge because I don't want to fall into a volcano. Summit of Mount Saint Helens. I do not want to get too close to this cornice here because it is freaking huge. Show you some views. Wow, the crater is insane. Hopefully you can see it from up there. out to the guy who lent me his strap because I lost my binding along the way. Oh my god, this is so prime. A little grippy down here, but damn, this is so tight. I have to say, this is unbelievably better than riding Mount Adams yesterday. Definitely really warm down here, but the corn up there is so sick. I am a bit confused, but I think what I'm gonna do is try to hang left as much as possible and then work my way back right. Oh, this is so fucking sick. Oh my god. Imagine fumbling the bag on this, bro. Unbelievable. Holy fuck, dude. It's like a reverse half pipe. My calves are crying right now. I had to walk a bit back there, and mind you, I am riding with this. And honestly, who needs bindings? These are better than bindings. For real, like, they're bomber. It's a good reminder to myself to always have extras in the bag. I thought I did, but apparently not. If the dude who lent me this ever watches this video, for real, man, thank you so much again. If I've been talking kind of like basic intro mountaineering this whole video, I need to be consistent, and navigation is super important. So yeah, I've been looking at my watch, knowing generally where I want to go, and I'm pretty close to where I want to be. So I'm just kind of riding this, pun intended, snow out until I'm gonna obviously have to fully boot it the rest of the way. This is crazy, man. Oh no. This is literally like, I'm lava. Oh fuck, I gotta stop. Like, dude, this is so cool. Well, that couldn't have worked out better if I tried. So where I ended up was coming like right out of that little flow right there, and then had a 2-second walk back to the standard trail. Back at the car, changed, feeling much better. So today is gonna end up being just over 10 miles, 500 feet of gain. Mount Saint Helens was great. The snow on the way down was amazing. Way better than Adams yesterday. I think right now is a good time to just be really proud of myself. I just did 2 huge days back to back. My body feels great right now, actually. Well, grimy as hell, but great physically. Feel really grateful to come out here and have such good weather as well. 2 like prime spring days back to back, I know is pretty uncommon in the Pacific Northwest, so really happy for that too. If you want to watch my Adams video, I'll link it here. Yeah, overall Mount St. Helens was a vibe. I really enjoyed today. I'll drop my GPX on the website with the full guide as always. If you're new to my channel, throw this video a like. It helps show other people places like this. I'm based in Colorado, so I have a ton of stuff there, but working my way through Pacific Northwest stuff as well, so check that out. Yeah, I'm gonna go celebrate, to be honest. I'm really proud of myself, really happy with these last couple days. As always, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate all y'all, and we'll see you on the next adventure.